Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing. It's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and any other FPGA gaming news out there that's worth reporting. After that, we will move over to some random and retro gaming news. Timestamps have been made available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. And if you did watch last week's video, we did a giveaway, and I am going to announce the winner of that giveaway that has been chosen at random, and that is for the Moons of Darsalon. This week we've got another giveaway, which is a game called OIRBO, not OIRBO. OIRBO, I think that's how you say it. So we're giving away a Steam code for OIRBO. That's later in the video, and when we run that competition, I'll be announcing the winner for the Moons of Darsalon as well. So make sure you do watch that part, and yeah, best of luck in winning this week's, and congratulations to last week's winner. That will be announced later. And before we go further in, guys, if you want to support the channel further than just liking and subscribing, I do have a Patreon set up. As well as that, guys, let's look at the sponsor of the weekly news show, MiSTer Add-ons. Check them out for all your MiSTer needs, whether it's a full setup or just bits and bobs. And a final shout out before we begin the video, guys, FPC, Free Play City, London's best arcade. Check it out, it is awesome. Anyway, without further ado, let's do this. The SEGA Saturn core for the MiSTer FPGA, one of my favorite cores on the MiSTer, and this is always receiving updates, and I pretty much say every week, guys, if you head over to the MiSTer FPGA Discord, in the unstable nightly section or the test build section, you can try out the latest cores. We spoke last week where the core now has support for light guns, but as well as that, there are always quality of life improvements happening. Big shout out to SRG320, the main developer behind there, as well as like Kuba J and Electronash that are always contributing to this core. This is a stream that I did earlier in the week because, hey, we always like to check out the SEGA Saturn. But some of the things that have been implemented: CPU interrupt delay after DMA by 1 cycle, and as well as that, SRG has also added a horizontal crop option to hide artifacts, and I think that was originally introduced by Kuba J. So excellent, guys. If you want to try the latest version of the core, can't say it enough, try the unstable version via the MiSTer FPGA Discord. You can always find a compiled version of the core there. In the weekly news videos, there's always an invite link to the MiSTer FPGA Discord if you do want to get involved. As we mentioned, with the SEGA Saturn receiving unstable nightlies and test builds, well, so is the NEO-GEO core. This little update here from Toya, I think it's an important one, especially if you're playing on a CRT and your image isn't placed right or exactly correct, and you want to make adjustments to it. So Toya, in the notes of this update to the core, mentions added horizontal vertical adjust for CRT. So there you go. If you want to make adjustments to the horizontal or the vertical on your CRT, you can, and you'll find it in the audio and video menu option. If you do try this out and you want to leave any feedback, head over to the NEO-GEO channel on the MiSTer FPGA Discord. Always nice to see quality of life improvements like this coming over to the MiSTer FPGA. It's what makes the project, the cores, the developers, the community so freaking awesome. As we begin this segment of the video, I want to keep our expectations in check, and I want to point out this is pure speculation. So core developer Raki, or known as @RCA Victorco over on X, is showing Rayforce at the PCB running on a CRT. Now, this does not mean we're going to get an FPGA core. However, it is exciting to look at, and it's always nice to see developers showing off stuff because, hey, who knows, maybe down the line somewhere in the future, we will get a Rayforce core. This is a fantastic shmup. Love like the 2-layer system, the locking onto the lower tier and firing your missiles at them. It just feels amazing. It really is a great shmup.
Hello viewers of the Pixel Cherry Ninja channel. I wanted to introduce myself. Pixel doesn't actually know I've inserted myself in the weekly news video, but I am Arcade Karen, also known as Coin Op Queen. I like to come on and I like to rant about arcade games. I am learning new systems, and I hope to be involved in some live streams on the Pixel Cherry Ninja channel. I may like arcade games, but I am trying out consoles. But yeah, just wanted to introduce myself, and occasionally when I lose a life, I do go on a rant, and I love shouting stuff like, Get me your manager.
In this section of the video, we'll be looking at the latest from Retro Remake, and this week we're focusing on the SuperStation1 and the Super Dock that goes with it. I did do a dedicated video during the week regarding this because some new, very good information came to light. Some other information has come to light as well in between that video and Saturday, so let's have a look at that. So Taki here says, here's the current version of the Super Dock for the SuperStation1. It needs around 2 revisions, but what's interesting here is, here you go, we can see the SuperStation1 and the Super Dock here. And okay, so looking at this image, hopefully you're seeing it on a big screen. You can see my mouse moving there, but you can see like a little panel here, a little cover here. That is for an SSD, an M.2 2280, I believe. So you can whack your SSD in there if that's the route you want to go down. SSDs are quite cheap now, and I think if you go for a 2 terabyte, it's actually cheaper than the SD card, and SSDs are definitely more reliable because, hey, we all know SD cards like to crash out from time to time. I've definitely experienced that myself. So having an SSD is definitely a viable option. Moving on over here, this goes to, I like that username. Can those who got Blue Founders Edition get your autograph somewhere else, maybe on the packaging? Let me know if I should email support. And Takyuden replies, still making a plan for this. So those of you guys that went with a transparent blue, well, you may get a signature somewhere. Be interesting to see where it will be. Next up here, Jeremy Rutz here says, any chance the dock may allow for dual RAM setup? Taki responds to this, and I think he's been pretty clear about this from the word go. Not possible. We have 24-bit AV connected to those pins, and splitting wouldn't work well. Most dual SD RAM cores eventually add single SD RAM support. Now guys, that is very, very true. I can't think of a single core off the top of my head where it's dual RAM only and we haven't had a single RAM version of that core. The most recent example being the Atari Jaguar, where it was only working on dual RAM, but we now have a single SD RAM version as well. The SEGA Saturn, there are some slight advantages to having dual RAM when you are running 3D fighters on the Saturn, but everything else is pretty much dandy on single RAM or dual RAM. So you guys should be good with that. If you definitely want a dual RAM setup, then the SuperStation1 isn't for you. Go for a traditional stack system or even a MiSTer Pi, and you can add dual RAM to that. Completely up to you. But the SuperStation1 is a single SD RAM MiSTer FPGA device. And okay, so the Holy Man here says, will it come in matching colors for the main console? Okay, so that's a question regarding the Super Dock. So if you order your console and then you order the Super Dock, are you going to get a matching color? Is it going to be mix and match, right? Because hey, I would want the same color. I know I like to mix and match sometimes, but I think if I had the SuperStation1 and the dock, I would want a uniform look to it. But Kataki here responds yes. So I imagine if you want a different color, maybe you can email support and go, you know what, I've ordered the Super Dock, I want the gray, I've ordered the gray SuperStation1, but I want like a transparent blue Super Dock. So completely up to you. Not sure if that is an option, just kind of putting the idea out there. I don't want to give Taki extra work if that's going to cause hassle. Okay, and finally here, right, so this is someone asking when it will become available. Here you go, any ETA, when we will get a video. Okay, demoing all of this, sorry, so that's for a video. So Taki will do a demo doing this. Hopefully I'll get a review unit and I can show you guys this in action as well. So 2 to 3 months for SuperStation1 and another month or so for the Super Dock. But that kind of wraps it up. Definitely an exciting project. Looking forward to this, and I know many of you guys are too. Let's check out this week in Zaparoo and other NFC related stuff, or anything NFC related. So Anime Otaku here says, need some minor adjustments, but here it is. GB cart sleeves for NFC games, template available soon. And let's have a look at this. And I'm pretty sure in this video the template might even be available. I kind of like build up these details during the week, or these links during the week. So Anime Otaku here then moves on to say, first public release of full art with pins PSD template. This template created by @Magic1 is a remix of Full Art 2025 with HuCard pins added to the top. Love HuCard pins, and here we go. If you want to get stuff like this going for yourself, well, you can do so. And let's have a look at the final tweet here. So Anime Otaku here says, updated both PSD templates for NFC cards version 1.0.1, added more systems plus fixed layer names. Changelog and download here. Okay, special thanks to Magic1 for the new template. And finally, before we move away from Zaparoo, and definitely check this video out from Pez82, and this talks about Zaparoo addiction, and it is a serious issue. As you can see, that is the face of a Zaparoo addict. So guys, be very, very careful with Zaparoo. It's very, very addictive, and it can change your life. Like with anything, do within moderation. Don't be like Pez and overindulge. I'll be your compromiser. Here comes the Analogizer. Guys, the Analogizer is now 1 year old. It's a year since it has been available, and the main developer behind this, Random Monk 3, has provided so much support, so much compatibility, so much new features, or so many new features. Let's have a look at what has been happening in the last week of the Analogizer. So Analogizer, some orange object approaches the NES core, and we know what that is. That is the NES Zapper. So Random Monk 3 here says Analogizer NES Zapper support work in progress, snack NES working okay, ultimate snack mini and Blue 212 generic snack designs 1-2 ports. Moving on to the next one, hopefully you can see those nice pictures down there. So over here he says Analogizer NES core light gun reticle can be controlled with the PSX snack stick. I don't know why you'd want to play a light gun game with an analog stick if you do feel like punishing yourself, and the option is there. Yeah, nice to have these options, right? So if you do want to get running, there's instructions here in the tweet as in how you can set that up using Pup Day. Moving along, so over here a little bit of information here. One thing, NES save state support was removed from Analogizer version because the FPGA size doesn't allow to use Analogizer features and save states at the same time. Okay, so some Analogizer features don't allow cheats, or have cheats running the FPGA isn't big enough. And over here, Analogizer Tecmo core work in progress based on Pocket no object core. So there you go. Hopefully you guys will be getting that soon. And yeah, Random Monk 3 is very, very quick. And again, Analogizer Open FPGA Tecmo core released. Check the repository README for instructions about configure the adapter using the new Analogizer configurator system. So as we kind of say, he works really fast. There it is, work in progress. What was the date on that? So that was the 12th of February, and the next day it's available. So Random Monk 3, congratulations for having this excellent product and having it around for a year. Guys, if you haven't got yourself an Analogizer, you might want to get one if you want to use your analog pocket on a CRT and you want to use original controllers. A quick look at the Eade Tang console and just a couple of tweaks. This is a product I'm looking forward to receiving and well, running on the channel because it's a cheaper FPGA console and it's a new system and it has a few cores ported to it. So Eade here say, do you want RGB to SCART module or RGB to VGA module for FPGA Tang console retro gaming? And I think the poll has ended now. Let's see what won. So most of you guys want RGB to VGA. There I am. I actually voted SCART. I don't even know why. I've got SCART TV in my shed, I suppose. Having a look at the next one, and this just looks really, really nice. So just bought an old 6-inch CRT mini TV for FPGA Tang console. Try add CVBS for it, and here you go. Look at that. Just looks absolutely superb. I really like the look of that small 6-inch CRT. Remember a while ago, guys, we spoke about the SEGA Neptune, an FPGA console based on a cancelled SEGA console that was supposed to run the Mega Drive and 32X games. But let's have a look at this tweet from Anton Gell. You may know Anton Gell for his core development work for the MiSTer FPGA and the Analog Pocket systems like the Tato SJ come to mind. So Anton here says, not bad for a 1 week build. The Kozam the Great SEGA Neptune recreation is up and running. Thanks to everyone who contributed to making this project a reality. I spent yesterday troubleshooting minor issues and the final build components arrived today. And having a look at a bigger or a larger version of that picture, it looks really, really good. Like his workstation, like his screens, it just looks really, really awesome. And over here, Timothy here asks the questions, how hard is this to pull off? Anton replies, that's a tough one to answer. This is definitely not a first timers project. It really depends on your expertise. I think troubleshooting skills are a must too. Let me know if you have any specific questions. But very nice to see this. I know Video Game Esoterica's got a board and he's gonna be building one on video, in a video series going through it. So if you guys want to get one of these and you want and building this, like Anton said, it's not a first timers project, but if you do have some experience in working on projects like this, I know Video Game Esoterica is going to be doing a series, so definitely keep an eye on his channel. But in the meantime, Anton, brilliant, good stuff, and a big shout out to Kozam the Grey and everyone involved in making this project a reality, just like Anton says. So going from a legitimate SEGA FPGA project like the Neptune to one, well, I don't even want to say anymore. This is a SuperSEGA, the Super SPGA, the Super Spaghetti project. And I have to be honest, guys, I haven't even bothered watching this video. The title of it reads SuperSEGA supporters money refunded, and what about Super SPGA future? Honestly, what about it? From what I read on the Discord, people talking about it, most people haven't got a refund. I'm not sure if anyone has got a refund, and the guy's saying that he's got no money, he's out of money, he's working, he's getting a few hundred euros a month, and he's hoping to refund the rest of the people. Honestly, guys, I just can't be so bothered with it. I'll leave a link to this video that I'm showing on screen in the description if you do want to check it out and put yourself through that ordeal. Even better if you check out Video Game Esoterica's videos. I know he covers it, and he covers it in a very comical and very entertaining way. But yeah, that is Super SEGA or Super SPGA. It's not happening. I don't think anyone's refunded, and it looks like a whole bunch of people lost their money backing this thing here, whatever you want to call it. That time has come, guys. We now have the arcade version, the Sega System 16 version of Golden Axe, now available for the Neo-Geo. And look at that magic, that dragon. I remember seeing that in the arcade, just obliterating everything on screen. It just looks fantastic. So, Golden Axe for the Neo-Geo, not just for the Neo-Geo, also for the Neo-Geo CD. The developer Hoffman, very talented individual. He's the same person that brought us Shinobi like a couple of months ago or a month ago, and now they've got a taste for this. They have now brought us Golden Axe, and guys, it's just really good. They've got the Neo-Geo version in there, they've got the Neo-Geo CD version in there, they've got it so you can play it via MAME, they've got the Darksoft version, they've got every version you can think of. And for anyone out there that wants to play it on the Analogue Pocket, if you're having difficulty setting this up, head over to my Discord, where we've got the corresponding JSON files that will get this game running for you. But guys, Golden Axe for the Neo-Geo, fantastic. A lot of people say, what's the point of it? You know what, it's just amazing to see this. There's a lot of people out there with original Neo-Geo hardware, they might have it in arcade cabinets, and they can now run Golden Axe on there. Either way, it's absolutely fantastic to see this. Golden Axe is one of the best arcade games I have ever played. It's one of my favorite arcade games, and I did not need a reason to go back and revisit it. And this is a stream that I did earlier, the day that this was released. In fact, it was about an hour after it was released. I was tired, I was back from work, and I was like, you know what, I am doing this stream. So I strongly suggest you guys check this out. It works amazingly on the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and wherever you do your Neo-Geo gaming. So big shout out to Hoffman and everyone else involved. I wanted to give this game a shout out. Why did I want to give it a shout out, right? Because, well, you know what? I like Metal Slug. I love Metroidvania games. In fact, Metroidvania, the genre, is my favorite genre of games to play single player. Look at that map. Wow, look at that. So I've got this game. I tried it out. I didn't get a promo version of it. I didn't actually ask. I said, look, I'd be interested in doing a review, but I didn't get a response back. But the game's good enough for me wanting to buy it and try it. So I might be doing a stream on it, or I might just be playing it solo. Either way, guys, it's a fun game. I only played like 15 minutes before I went to bed yesterday, and the game does feel good. It's quite tricky, it's quite difficult, but I'm sure as you go and you level up, the game does become easier. I like the art style. I like this game, man. It's if you like Metal Slug, or if you like run and gunners and you like Metroidvanias, you are gonna like this game. And initially, from what I played of it, it feels good. It felt like it was missing something. Couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I'm sure it's gonna get better. It didn't feel like a bad game. It felt like a good game. It looked and it played well. Controls and everything were good. So yeah, looking forward to giving this more of a bash over the weekend. I mean, look at some of the stuff that they're showing in here. Just looks amazing. So Guns of Fury, available for the Nintendo Switch and the PC via Steam. Daytona USA, a game that I absolutely love on the Sega Saturn core, on the MiSTer FPGA. In fact, every time I do a Sega Saturn stream, pretty much every time, I make sure that I run that game. It's a game that defines a system for me, and it's a great arcade game. But did you ever wonder to yourself, hey Pixel, what would it look like if it came out in 1992 on a system like the 32X with the aesthetic of Virtua Racing? Well, your question may well have been answered by Frogball. If you want access to this game, I think it's available via their Patreon. Let's just head over to their Patreon. I'm not a member of their Patreon, but you can see down here there is a post there regarding that, so you may be able to get access to this game if you want to try it out. But in the meantime, guys, I have to say it just looks absolutely superb. I love the Daytona, I love the look of this, and I like arcade races in general. In this section of the video, we have another giveaway, and this time it's OIRBO. We're also going to announce the winner of last week's competition, well, last week's giveaway. So what is OIRBO? The description we have on the Steam page says, as OIRBO, you will explore labyrinthian spacecraft and discover its mysteries and purpose. Navigate a huge Metroidvania-based hand-drawn 2D action platformer full of secrets to uncover, areas to explore, and enemies to dismantle. Guys, this is a very precision-based one. I would say it's fun, it's good, and the developers, before releasing the game ages ago, kind of reached out to me. I tested out the game somewhat, gave them some feedback, and they actually listened and implemented that. Not taking credit for the game or anything, but like I only tested it for like an hour and then provided my feedback. However, they did reach out to me again recently, and it just gave me another code, and I was like, guys, you gave me a code for this previously. So I said to them, no worries, I'm gonna give that away this week. Guys, it's a fun game, and it's available for the PC, it's available for the Xbox, and it's available for the Nintendo Switch. So if you want to enter this week's giveaway, well, very simple, guys. Just let me know what your favorite Metroidvania game is, and a winner will be selected out of the comments randomly. Just to reiterate, I will be giving away a Steam code of OIRBO, so a massive shout out to the developer, Imagination Overflow. It's a great game. If you like Metroidvanias, you will like this. Definitely enter, and the best of luck. Now let's have a look at last week's giveaway. So last week we were talking about Moons of Darsalon, which we were giving away a Steam code of that to celebrate like the recent console release, and we have drawn a winner. So the winner is, well, they came with their favorite movie, The Arrival. I haven't seen the movie. If I had to pick one out, the ones I liked, I probably would have picked Terminator 2 or RoboCop, but it is drawn randomly, so that gives everyone an equal chance of winning. And this is their profile over here. So Mario del Castillo Ruiz, or Toede, congratulations on winning. Please email me. My email is on the About section of the channel. Just send me a screenshot of where you are logged into your YouTube channel, so then that I can verify it's you and not an imposter, and I will send you that Steam code. So once again, congratulations. I will try and have a code available every week. I just need to kind of get on it. I do get a lot of offers for games, and I will try and get you guys more giveaways. But yeah, congratulations, last week's winner. And this week, remember guys, we have OIRBO. Just let me know in the comments below which is your favorite Metroidvania game, and yeah, a winner will be selected at random. Shane McCafferty. First of all, they're going to be on a stream with me later on today. That's if you're watching the video on a Saturday. The stream is due for 7 p.m. Saturday night, Saturday the 15th, 7 p.m. UK time. But Shane is best known for their Game Boy games, and their most recent release is this one here, Cave Dave, a fantastic game. I feel like it's a love letter to games like Splunky and Rick Dangerous. I've tried it out, yes, it is superb, but they are now working on a new game called Hero GP, Hero GP, sorry, I think I said Hero JP, Hero GP, which is, well, it's like Super Hang-On, but for the Game Boy, just much faster. So here's the live stream that we've got set up. You can see the time that I'm doing this is 6 hours away. By the time you watch this video, it's probably going to be like 2 or 3 hours away. So definitely join us today. I'm really excited about this stream because I love Game Boy and I love Game Boy DMG, and we can see that Shane here, he likes. So Shane from EG Vroom likes the Game Boy Color better. So it's going to be an interesting conversation. I think we're going to end up talking about our favorite games and why we like this version of the Game Boy better. But if you're around, come on the stream, ask any questions. They're going to be sharing some development and some coding tips as well. So we'll be doing screen sharing. And if you've got any questions regarding getting into development, especially for the Game Boy or the Game Boy Color, then pop along and give Shane a shout. Can't give you heaps of information on this, but this turned up on my Google feed. I'm an Android phone user, right? And you know, on the left hand side, you've got that Google feed, and this was on there. It said GameBub, open source FPGA retro emulation handheld. And naturally, I like handhelds, I like retro games, I like Game Boy, so I was intrigued. So what exactly is this? Well, there's a lot of reading and there's a lot of information in this article. So just flicking through the video, you can see it's kind of running there. Kind of mentions that they've got like a rumble. Here we go. So plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color cartridges, as well as GBA, as well as that it's got like a rumble motor built in, multiplayer with link cable support. So it definitely sounds interesting. So I kind of went through this article, and guys, this is a long article. From what I understand, you can register your interest in buying a completed one, or you can build it yourself if you're competent enough to do that. And there's a lot of stuff in here. But there was a part here where they have like, there's a title here, okay, a brief rant about FPGA gaming, and they're kind of talking about software emulation, and they're talking about hardware emulation, right? So FPGA, I don't even know how to categorize it. There's arguments in everything regarding whether it's emulation, not emulation, or whether it's software emulation. Then you've got hardware emulation. Either way, look, I like FPGA gaming, and the main reason I like it because sometimes I can't tell the difference between a software emulator and FPGA gaming, with the exception of the latency. I feel, especially in fighters and shmups, it's the added latency that kills it for me. Side scrollers, a lot of 2D games, you can feel that latency. Whichever software emulator I try, whether I use run ahead in something like RetroArch that kind of skips frames, and whatever it does, right? The main reason I love FPGA gaming is obviously there's a degree of accuracy there, but it's the lack of latency, the input lag that's there in emulators. Some emulators are better than others at negating that, but unlike the MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket, everything just feels so snappy. So not quite sure about this. I didn't get a chance to read all of this. I wanted to feature it in here and let you guys know about it. Naturally, I'll link this. The guy's gone into a very, very detailed article. Just make sure if you do want to read it, you've got plenty of time, because it is long. And look, I'm not even halfway through the page yet, man, and let's try and get to the bottom. But there is a lot here, so if you're interested in this, I'm not putting this idea down. It looks like a great idea. I mean, I'm happy with my Analogue Pocket, not something that I will build or spend money on, but it might be interesting for some of you guys out there. Rumble support, link cable, backwards compatibility, it's open source, you can build it. So there's a lot of tick boxes there that a lot of you guys will appreciate and like. But you know, I feel like it's something that I need to bring on the channel, and it does look like a nice handheld. So all stuff like this, innovations are welcome. I was just a little thing about that rant between FPGA and emulation, because I've played a lot of emulators, and forget about like the accuracy and that stuff there. Just put that aside the moment, because sometimes there are inaccuracies in software emulation that aren't there on devices like the MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket. It is, and I'll say it again, it is the lack of latency, the input lag. It just feels as snappy as it did back in the day, and that's one of my main draws to FPGA gaming, likely above and beyond anything else. But in the meantime, guys, if you do want to check out the GameBub, I've got to say I do like the title GameBub. Sounds kind of cool. Moro Xavier, buddy, I hope you are doing well. And they've been like working on Final Fight for the Mega Drive, and yeah, guys, it's been an amazing experience. I tried out like the last version, the first few levels, and they're making progress on this. I know Moro had some health issues before. Good to see you doing well, buddy, and I wish you the best of health. So Final Fight MD Mega Mode, look at the screens, you know what this means, and you know what that means. You can both pick the same character. The arguments about I want to pick Cody, no, I want to pick Cody, and then you end up beating each other up in the arcade. And also it's got the inclusion of Mackie in there, so that's fantastic. Or if you just want to do double jumping, or whatever they're called, flying power drivers, you know, the move he's got in here, fantastic. And that little thing up there, what is it called, the brace, I can't remember, the little belt thing sideways, the suspenders holding your pants up, that's from like one of the different Final Fight games, and not Final Fight 1. So nice to see those changes in that one. Looking forward to trying this later on. Another tweet from Moro here says, since I'm finishing some graphical tweaks and adjustments for round 6. I tested the characters' alternative palettes to see how they contrast with the scenery. So here we go, we can have a look at that, and again, just look really cool like this. Looking forward to trying this, man, when it is released. Moro does have a Patreon, and he releases his beta builds to patrons before making them publicly available. So if you're passionate about Final Fight and that's something you want to check out, then consider checking Moro out over on Patreon. So guys, that wraps it up for this week. I really do hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. Anyway, be absolutely awesome to one another, guys. I'll see you around. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.